I realized something recently. I am terrible at fear and hunger. So I thought to myself, what if the game could do all the hard work for me? In order to get that started though, we need to see what skills allow for something like that. Necromancy, flesh puppetry, and blood golem. Going through the character list, there's only a single one that starts with one of those three skills, and it's the goat, Marina, with necromancy. Marina has another benefit as well, and that she can get some free affinity with any of the gods, and she can randomly get one of the Bibles. I chose to get affinity with the god of fear and hunger, and for the book, we're hoping for the rare Bible or a Sylvian Bible. The way that necromancy works is that you can't just resurrect any body. It has to be specific ones either placed in the world or extremely specific enemies. Luckily, there's a necromanceable body in the old town. Meet Goulash, our only form of attack right now. We get into our first altercation and Goulash does manage to kill them, but not before both of us were bleeding, of course. Then we get into another fight where Goulash gets his shit rocked and is down to 1 health. Naturally, neither of these people can be necromanced onto our team. Then I got caught by the vial, where I failed the coin flip and Goulash immediately dies, requiring the reset. So we go all the way back and revive Goulash again, and this time we fight the villager with a sickle. This is the only enemy in the entire game that can be necromanced after killing it. It has to be the ones with the sickles, not the pipes. Huge difference. Either way, meet our new party member, Jorge. We head to the mayor's manor and to loot his books, but we didn't find anything too useful. We snap Henrique out of his psychosis and grab the manor keys, then send Henrique to the food storage in order to get the sewer keys. After this, I got into a fight where I lost Goulash and my game closed, so I had to restart from the beginning. So after doing it all over again, I get back to my mildly complicated plan and walk all the way back around to the Moonscorched people peeling their skins off. I'm doing this because they don't fight back and just mean free heads for sacrificing. After slaughtering them all, I return to the train and use the God of Fear and Hunger to save my progress. After saving my game, I have a newfound confidence, so I try my luck at the Woodsman and Goulash punches his head off instantly. With the Woodsman defeated, I go into his basement and use the rare Bible I got from the mayor's manor on the ritual circle and speak to the man in black. The man in black takes over the goat or something and gets added to the team. With a full team, we go into a combat and then Goulash gets shot and dies immediately. Meet Goulash 2. The priest outside of the mayor's manor turns into another victim of instant head explosion, allowing me to bring the priest's head and the woodsman's head to this guy and get the Shield of the Four accessory. Now comes the riskiest part of this entire plan. We must sleep in the mayor's bed and attack Samarie. She does not die on the first turn and blows off Goulash 2's arm. Luckily, Jorge put her down before she did too much more damage. FYI, this entire fight only happens if you're playing Marina. Another reason she's the GOAT. I go back to sleep and grab flesh puppetry and both of Samarie's skills. When I wake up, I find something awful. I had forgotten to send Henrique to the food storage and he moonscorched, which means I cannot go through the sewers to get to the city. I'll have to get both of the city keys. Luckily, he gives you one of them, but the other key is in the tunnel with Abella. If you're unaware, going to the mayor's house causes Abella to moonscorch in Tunnel 7. But before this point, I'd never actually seen Abella's moonscorched form. Now, as you saw, Henrique's moonscorch is relatively friendly, but Abella's moonscorch... So after getting the fuck out of there and getting a change of pants, the goat leaves me, the actual goat, and I need to go replace him. Meet Nitwit. After trying and failing to find some healing items for Goulash 2 and Jorge, I realize that I just gotta fight Chogner right now. She kills Jorge with her fist, dealing 42 damage. I practically tickle her with the laughable amount of damage flesh puppetry is dealing, and the 40 damage my goons deal. And with each blow, she deals over half of everyone's health, and then she blows off my head. I try again, this time buffing the goat and Goulash, but it ends in much the same way. I was at a loss and I had no idea what to do from here, so I put it down for a couple months, came back, and I started a new playthrough. Although this time I gave myself 99 books of enlightenment because I realized something. These guys fucking suck. They don't deal much damage, and since I can't even control them, they just end up doing bullshit and hoping for the best. You might be thinking that 99 books of enlightenment makes it too easy, and you'll be right. I'm only going to use them before and after fights in order to save time because I am relying fully on RNG, and as you saw with Abella, RNG is not on my side. Anyways, to recap, Book of Rare, Goulash, send Henrique to the basement, Jorge is now stupid, kill Moonscorched villagers, Nitwit is now pumpkin, kill Woodsman, Men in Black, get fucked up by Samarie, try again, blow her head off, Now we're all caught up. It is important to mention that Samurai blew off both of my arms before my goons could kill her. I traversed the sewers into the city and immediately saved. Good thing I did, because I lost to needles. I continued on my way, avoiding needles this time, but as I was looting, I found I was being watched. On rematch, I came out victorious. Later on, I found myself ambushed by the mob, which is just not a fight I can win. After running from a death mask, I found myself in the school, where my entire team's incompetency was put on full display as 3 schoolchildren wiped out my entire party. Going through the school and avoiding every cherub, I found one of my final steps in my plan, the reason we needed samurai skills. At the top of the orphanage there are 2 pre-made circles, a Sylvian and a Grogora. Samurai's skills allow us to gain affinity with both gods by jerking off on the Sylvian circle and using blood sacrifice on the Grogora. But there's a problem. I can't use blood sacrifice because I'm missing my arms. I need Sylvian affinity to obtain loving whispers and healing whispers, which allow me to heal my party. And I desperately need Grogora, since he holds the blood golem skill. It'll be okay. I will just go fight the priest in there and we'll be able to move on. After that humiliation, I remembered that I never engraved on anyone yet. So I gave myself the Venushka engraving for some defense, and everyone else got the God of Fear and Hunger so that they can get extra turns. Did not help. I went back to experiment and changed my engraving to Grogora since it's supposed to increase attack. And it did. It increased each hit from Flesh Puppetry by like 6. But that confused me since I thought that Flesh Puppetry's damage would be separate from mine. So I looked it up and found that it actually does scale with my attack power. So if I just equip a weapon, their damage would increase by a lot. Oh, right. I still don't have any arms, so I'm unable to equip any weapon. I'll just have to try and find a Sylvian Bible. Easiest way to do that would be to kill some contestants and trade their head with Pocket Cat. But first I need to get out of the orphanage. The mob is waiting for me outside, which is not a fight I can win. Even if I managed to get away from them, I still lost my ghoul and only had the goat. I tried attacking Father Hugo again, died, tried to leave the orphanage again, and you know how that goes. And I come to the conclusion that this run is fucked. So I come to a decision. Yada yada, you know the drill by now. And we're back in the school. Now my plan can come into fruition. With affinity for both Grogoroth and Sylvian, I just need to draw 1 circle for each of them, and then I can go to bed and grab the skills I so desire. Except on my way to the old town, I bump into Levi and Caligura, so obviously I kill Caligura. And immediately after, Osa decides to place himself in the most inconvenient spot, right when I'm being chased by the mob. He's also sitting in the only path I know in order to get back to the train. How I mentioned that I despise Osa? Fuck this guy. I'm minding my own business and he just feels the need to blow off my leg. He deserves this. And to continue my streak of bad luck and timing, Levi feels the need to dash past me while I'm actively being chased by a heroin fiend and gets me in combat with him, where I lose instantly and he crashes my game. Anyways, I grab the goat to fill my party back up and use a Sylvian circle to fully heal my party and my limbs. And then he died to the circle for some reason. Probably lore or something, I don't know. Whatever, I didn't need the goat anyway. I have something better in mind. Blood Golem. I had achieved what I've been trying to do for the last few hours in the most roundabout and scuffed way possible. So with all this prep completed, Blood Golem, a weapon, 2 ghouls, what is our damage output looking like? Yeah, don't forget we're still relying on luck to defeat every enemy. Luckily for me though, this priest is optional, so I'm just gonna leave him there and go grab the effigy. And the effigy from the mold apartments. We also killed Dawn while we're here. On my way to the Church of Almer, I get distracted by a Bremen elite trooper and have a 10-minute long fight with him. Since we killed Samurai early, we don't have to deal with dysmorphia and we can just go straight to work on Circle. I'm not gonna lie, I was worried about this fight, but Goulash & Co. really pulled through and destroyed one of his arms before he could do much real damage. So on my checklist here, I still need to kill Abella, Marco, Tanaka, Olivia, Pav, and Levi. Tanaka and Marco got killed off-screen by Pav, and Pav himself will be dealt with by someone later on. Olivia is outside the train and is promptly killed, so that leaves Levi and Abella. My rematch with Shogner goes about as you'd expect. Death, death, and more death. However, the only moves that are actually a threat to me are her instant kill, like the head pop and her coin flip attack.
壁というか切れてない仲間の知らない
And it's here I realize that during that first playthrough, I could have just ran past her and gone straight to the elevator and grabbed the key. Whoops. And then the worst possible outcome arrives. Chogner lives. I don't know how, but I need to get the hell out of Dodge or I'm dying. There's another body in here that I can necromance, but that isn't important. We just gotta go. Pretty sure it's a bug that Chogner comes back to life, so that just leaves Levi on my kill list. As I search for him, I realize that he's already moon-scorched, since it just ran past me. I chase him down until I find him in the orphanage and begin combat. I had no idea what to expect from this fight, but coming from Chogner, I thought he'd be harder. It was honestly just sad. He died with little to no fight at all. Pressing on to the night of day 2, I approach the tower, and Pav is murdered by the Kaiser, meaning there is no contestant left to kill. One more fight, and I am home free. After Perkelly yaps in my ear for an hour, we begin combat. I realize a little too late that I forgot to buff everyone, so we're just going in dry. I put pheromones on the blood golem and focus on keeping him alive using the Sylvian spells and herbs, praying that everyone else can do their part. Perkelly has a ton of health in all of his limbs, and he deals a lot of damage, but luckily only to single targets. When we eventually, and I mean eventually, break his meteor arm, he starts casting Herming. Completely fine by me, since it only deals 50 damage, and I won't have to heal as much. But after 11 minutes of combat, Perkelly finally goes down, and I live to see day 4.